Yeah. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Jade Monkey. We're back here in DayZ 1.10. And we do have the truck, or the cargo truck, coming through for the live branch, or as soon as it hits, for all platforms, PS4, Xbox, and PC. Now, I know as of recording this, we are still waiting for this to hit live branch. It is an experimental PC and Xbox. And I know if you're on Xbox experimental, the truck isn't coming in until, I think, early November 2020. But either way, if you're on PS4 or Xbox, just know this is coming to live branch sometime probably early to mid-November 2020. So keep an eye out for that. But we wanted to do a truck base, as the truck is super useful. It is an absolute loot machine. So we wanted to do a base build on vanilla DayZ 1.10 and show you some of the things you can do. Now, we are in Servograd on Chernarus, and we are using this prefab right here, this barn. And this is all over Chernarus. It's not in Livonia. There's a different type of barn there. But let me just show you the location we're in, although you don't have to use this location if you do not want to. This prefab is really all that matters, this particular structure. And you can do this thing in phases. So if you look at the blue dot here, excuse me. Okay, there's Northwest Airfield, there's Devil's Castle, and here's our location, Servograd. I'll give you a second for that to settle in. And again, iSurvive is the map software we're using right now. There's Solnichi, Kamishovo, Electro, Cherno City, Cherno Industrial. Anyways, so yes, truck base, here we go. Now, I would strongly suggest doing this in small bites, whether you have one person, two people, or many. With the new flag system in, I would really recommend just starting with a lockpick, not even using a gate like this, just a lockpick. And once you have a truck, you can park this thing inside of this barn because the clearance is just high enough that you can do so. So, let's go ahead and jump in there. Oh yeah, by the way, we're on PC right now, obviously, until this comes out to live branch, or even on experimental, so. It's a little snug, but it'll work. The reason why you want a place to store this is going to be a high-ticket item for sure. But this thing is an absolute loot machine. It will get all kinds of resources and materials you will see here in a second. And one of the strong points of this particular base type, of this barn, you can use this as a staging area if you're trying to collect resources for another base location or whatever it is you're going to be doing. I didn't pull up far enough, did I? No, I certainly did not. That's okay. We won't close the back. Okay, so to get started, you would just close this back door and use a lockpick, and that's good enough to get you started. Excuse me. This truck here holds crazy amounts of supplies. You can add crates to it, barrels, which are 150 apiece. The crates are 50 apiece, and there's a 600 slot bed in the back. So when you start adding that up, it comes in quick. So again, if you're doing like a base build, I don't know, in town, or even at these apartment complexes way out there, this is a good place to get started. You can stage everything in here, hide it, keep it low profile, so on and so forth. Okay, so let's say you have enough supplies to do a flagpole. You can either do it in the back, or you can do what I did here. Create a small bullpen for it. The new flag system is paramount, as if you don't do this, things will despawn rather quickly. Now, you can tell I have things under the flagpole because you see the icon next to every structure that I roll over. And it just makes it so things don't despawn over time. And the flag has to be raised for that timer to be reset. So the further it gets down to the bottom, it can despawn rather quickly. So you see all the flag icons on everything. Excuse me. Woo! That's a healthy cough. So I would strongly recommend before you do any major building, is to somehow, some way, get your flagpole situated and protect it, because somebody could despawn your stuff by coming in here, lowering the flag, and just waiting 5 seconds for things to despawn. So I would recommend getting this thing set up first as soon as you're ready to do the building. Get a 4 combination lock, or move this whole structure in the back here so the flag being raised doesn't even show up, more or less, if you don't want to do the bigger build in the back. But anyways, flagpole's important. Get that going. And let's go back here. Now you can see why I say to do this with just a lockpick, because nothing's going to despawn if you just have a lockpick. So Okay, first thing I did was create a gate here. If you want to still go small, you can create a gate up here in the front, and you don't have to do this back section here. I just wanted to show you what an exterior watchtowers and a separate outside gate protruding from, or extruded from the barn itself would look like. But if you notice here, you cannot use watchtowers in front of here. This truck will not clear it. So keep that in mind. Now, with these watchtowers in front, I did put some barbed wire along the base here to prevent people from breaking in or making it more difficult. I did put full barricades at the very bottom. I did alternate full walls and half walls just to give myself some protection. As you can see, the other side, it's a full wall and then it's a half wall. Just, you know, so somebody can't just clear shot me from left to right, if that makes sense. And hopefully giving me some protection from the back angle. What I think makes this really cool is we can defend the gate and we can see outside pretty easily. And these camo nettings kind of help hide what we're doing. But what's cool is when you're at the top here and you crouch, there it is, you can reach the top of the barn and you can look over into the main road into Servograd, which is great. Or even on top of that apartment complex, which is a good place to build, by the way, for a base. We've done it before. So these towers offer protection in the back, give you another gateway, but also give you a way to hold your position and check the town with a low profile from the front, or from the main street. Okay, you can do the same thing here, crouch down. You can even jump to this top if you so desire. Yes! Truck base all the way. Man, I cannot wait for this to hit live branch. We're definitely going to be playing this a lot on experimental until it hits live branch, because 109's loot's been so bad up to this point. So, yeah, we're just going to be playing experimental. Okay, so let's say you didn't want to do that. You could just put a gate here if you wanted to. The interior of this base is pretty nice because, well, A, this barn offers nice protection for the vehicle, low profile, but here you can do a lot of loading and unloading. And I think that's its key point here. Alright, we'll just close that. Okay. So if somebody comes in with a bunch of loot, you can unload the truck and drop it off in here, whether it's from a raid or gathering supplies, and you can sort things out here on the bottom level. But more to the point, you can create even more loot pockets as you move up. So the barn section of the hay area here, you can see we have a low wall because we actually couldn't build it any higher, but that's okay because even if you can see over this, they still can't scale it. People have to rate it just the same. But what's cool is on this side, you can jump and reach this area here. This is a full-size wall or full-size gate. You could have your extra characters sign out up here. Alternate accounts are a big deal on PlayStation 4 and Xbox. If you're not rolling with them, you should. It's a great way to protect your base and also mule a lot more extra loot. And you can do it through the family plan on either Xbox or the PlayStation. I forget what they're called, but that's the basic idea. But your extra accounts can be signed out right here in the corner. So if things go down and you're this far into the map, you have a way to defend the base. If you just get, like, somebody hits you with a miracle shot, and, you know, you don't want to just be left with the door open. So having characters signed out here is great. Also creates more server storage. This creates more storage for the base. I mean, I guess on the server, you do have these little peepholes here at the top where you can see outside, which is kind of cool. Check the tree line and stuff. Another good place to shoot back from if people are attacking the base or coming through the front door. But what's cool here is because this place is so weird, we can shoot down and even walk back over the top of this and leave. But it's not that easy to walk over. You can't. Even if it's a low wall, you can't scale those things. You have to rate it. So kind of made do with that weird placement of that wall. But what's cool is somebody has to actually jump up and climb that to get in, which is cool. So you can use a combination lock if you so desire. I'd recommend it. Okay, so on this side, it's pretty awesome. We've got even deeper storage here on the back. And if you look over here, deep storage. So you've got the front area that people have to raid or break the lock, right? So that's 2 doors. And then they would have to break this all the way through because you can't drop in this way either to get to the loot in the back here. So you can store more things in barrels. Again, barrels being offloaded from the truck, whether it be from a raid or just looting. You can bring them back here. High value stuff goes here. Again, you can keep other characters back here. These also provide a way for you to shoot back, but it also becomes like a pantry of sorts. You can place the wooden crates down here and place them up top. Also, you can place these barrels in the back, which I think are great. And again, you can sign off a player here and then create a fortified position and a place to shoot back. So the more places you can sprinkle in extra players that are yours, the better. And you can shoot from here too. Bang, bang! Alright, so check this out. Ooh, that was dirty. The placement of this was really weird. This gate is about as close as you can make it, because if it gets any closer, you can't build the upper part of the wall. And you're like, okay, big deal, but you really need it tucked back in such a way where people can't fall in. But this right here, you could actually pass through. That's why I created this back wall here. But what I found out in the past was if you don't create a lower wall or any kind of frame or a wall itself, you can just dig these portions up, these bare poles, if there's no wall. Because walls, once they're erected, have a soft and hard side. So once I did that, somebody has to fully raid a wall and the frame to dig up the pole, which prevents people from walking through entirely. So that's why I had this gap here. But then one of the side effects of this is to have, you know, a shooting point, but it also became another storage point where we could double stack things. People can't come through here, creating more shoot points for you in case somebody comes through your base. And then check this out. I like this one. The other side's cool, but I think this side's probably the best. Now, same idea as the other side, but this one's way better. Oops, it just knocked me off. Here, again, you'll have a 4 combination lock. Don't ever use 3. They're super easy to hack, but not hack, brute force. And again, same idea here. This pole here prevents somebody from walking through the gap. But again, instead of somebody just digging it up with a pole, a pick, or a shovel, you create a part of a wall here, so they have to full raid it, which they can't from the outside. So blocking it completely. You can put barbed wire here if you're a real teabag. And then up here, creating more loot storage, more places to shoot from, peek, and another place for you to sign out your alternates. And also stockpile or mule your extra loot, because that's super important. Yeah, I like this barn a lot. I liked it before, but I really like what this truck added to it, because you can already see pulling this truck in and out and then offloading in here and these little loot pockets is going to be just massively huge for efficiency across the board. You know, again, whether you're just doing a building, if you're raiding, or if you're moving a base, or trying to do an FOB before you raid a base, this is a good place to do your staging, sorting, and springboard, or even use this as a main base. Yes. Yes. Show what this looks like from the exterior. So yeah, these trucks are so amazing. I can't wait for these to come into Live Branch. And in the interim, you can start to build your bases now. And then when the truck comes in, you'll just be that much more ready, because the flagpoles and such are in right now on the current version on Live Branch. And then everything else that gets added in, hopefully sometime November, we should be good to go. That's what we'll be doing on live stream and on the videos up until that point. So again, if you found this useful and helpful, be sure to drop a like. If you like this type of content, consider dropping a subscribe if you think that's something you're into. And again, we play a lot of open world survival games like DayZ. We play them primarily on the Xbox or PS4. I should just say the console. But we will be, I mean, I'm on PC now, obviously, but we will be maining this over there. Also, we are waiting for the Rust console beta, or the official word. We will be playing that heavily when that hits, and we'll also be playing the full release when that comes out. Can't wait for that. So we've got a lot of fun stuff happening to really just ride us out for the end of the year. So again, hopefully we see you in the next one. Love you. Bye.